We're here. In today's digital age, optical networks are the backbone of our connected world. They enable fast, reliable, and secure communications over very large distances. We think now is the perfect time to equip yourself with these skills needed to excel in the field. And I think recent demand shows no signs of letting up. This surge, and this surge is driven really by explosive growth in data, remote work, 5G, of course, digital transformation. You hear many companies are going through streaming, and of course, emerging technologies like IoT, machine learning, and AI. The Nokia Optical Network Certification Program can help you whether you're an aspiring network engineer or even a seasoned pro. I think today we'll be discussing the optical landscape, the value of certification, our ONC program overview, and as well as certifications and courses in the program. So now I'm going to just pass it. Oh, actually, I want to do a quick poll here. Just to get an idea. I want to get an idea of how many people are currently working with Nokia optical products and solutions. So we'll just leave this open for about 20 seconds and then we'll just release the results. Okay, interesting. So a lot of people are actually working with our products. I can see some have never, some hope to. So thanks everyone for submitting the responses. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic over to Marco, who's going to start off with some key drivers and talk a little bit about the optical landscape. Marco?
Thank you. Thank you, Darren, and good day, everyone. So yes, let's begin with this by addressing the key drivers in today's optical networks. Now, first and foremost is the imperative of capacity, the most significant market trend. Now, traffic volumes are surging at both core and metro levels, underscoring the critical need to maintain a low cost per bit. Now, this encompasses not only the hardware itself, but also its power consumption, which brings us to the second focal point on this slide, the escalating importance of power efficiencies accompanies the network's expansion, right? And this also encompasses, in turn, both the power required to operate the equipment and the needed and the power needed for effective cooling. Now, additionally, there is an increased demand for enhanced security, a challenge that continues to grow more and more complex. And then, the last point on the slide, you can see that simplifying processes based on customer intents, wherever possible, of course, is crucial for scalability and speed. Okay, next slide, please, Darren. But, let's go back to capacity. As you can see here from the slide, capacity is a must. Our targets involve many things, including enhancing networks to accommodate not only the, let's say, long-standing C-band spectrum, but also the L-band now, effectively doubling our transport capacity. And this, again, highlights the importance of excelling in other critical domains such as power consumption and security, I was mentioning before in the previous slide. It's not only the hardware that must keep pace with this growth. Software is equally important, it's equally paramount, let's say. This includes streamlining every facet of the network's life cycle to enhance reliability and simplicity. And the most important set of features to enable this is based on automation. Automation is the key in our pursuit. Next slide, please, Darren. Now, later in this slide deck, I will delve into the topic of automation. Just to give you a little heads up, we have developed a bunch of use cases tailored to assist our customers in specific tasks. Now, some of these are outlined here, You will notice they encompass areas like trade and service provisioning, employing a dynamic approach to bandwidth utilization. And then there is the widely recognized concept of network slicing, the second one you can see in the slide, which proves central in maximizing the utility of a single physical network. It allows for distinct SLAs, service level agreements for different network profiles. Okay, so you can imagine one single tenant offering different SLAs depending on the profile, the network profiles, okay, of the devices connected. And this also supports multiple tenants on the same physical network, right? And lastly, there is a focus on data analysis, the third line on this slide, enabling a proactive approach to network monitoring. This involves training and predictive algorithms, along with mechanisms for real-life performance monitoring, ensuring it's swift decision-making to ultimately enhance the SLAs. Okay, next slide, please. Here, displayed here is an overview of our optical portfolio categorized into access, metro, and core areas. Now, while our certification program primarily centers around the core, it extends beyond to encompass metro and access equipment as well. Before delving into the specifics of how we address these and other subjects, including outlining the certification tracks, of course, and their corresponding courses, I will pass the floor to Darren for some, let's say, overarching program details. So thank you, Darren.
Thanks, Marco. So what are the benefits of certification? Certifications have the power to unleash personal and organizational growth for many reasons. There's so many I can name, but here are just a few of the benefits that individuals can expect, such as being able to provide verifiable proof of expertise, which brings along with that enhanced credibility, increased confidence and productivity. In fact, you can see from the data point here in a recent survey conducted by Pearson VUE, we can see that 91% say they experience confidence as a result of achieving a certification. It can open up new opportunities. As many as you know, certifications are often required for certain roles and also can set you apart from other candidates. So with all things equal, having a certification can certainly help you stand out. And I think from my perspective, overall certifications can help you reach your goals and also helps encourage this notion of lifelong learning. And you can see here from a program member here that we have from Google, has found the ONC training content and certifications to be invaluable to beginning his career working with Nokia products and understanding working towards certification. Organizationally, for organizations, certifications are really no less important as organizations can experience continuous improvement and innovation. But my personal favorite is retention. It's often a common myth that by certifying employees, you'll be positioning them to open new opportunities outside the organization, when in fact, it's been proven over and over again that they're more likely to be happier and stay in their positions longer when they're being invested in. So investing in your employees does not chase them out the door. It actually retains them. Organizations can also see an increased return on training investments. So like any project or any opportunity, you're always looking for ROI. And as you can see also here from the data point that 94% of decision makers say that certified members added value above and beyond the cost of certification, meaning that there is ROI as a result of achieving certification. Organizations can also see an increase in productivity and self-sufficiency, with a skilled workforce that can complete projects and tasks faster while also reducing their reliance and costs on using professional services and just becoming more self-sufficient. Our Optical Network Certification Program has experienced some really good growth right now. We've actually seen an increase of our certifications year over year of over 100% at this point. So from a high-level program perspective, Marco is going to get really into the detailed aspects of the program and the certifications and what you can expect. But from a high level, the program itself is supporting the 1830 PSS, PSI, VWM, and WS NOC or Wave Suite NOC, which is formerly called NFMT. So you'll see some of our courses say Wave Suite NOC or NFMT, but largely we're just in the process of making some updates to the program. So the course consists of 10 hands-on instructor-led courses, some flexibility in terms of the way we can deliver this training as a result of self-study, our lab environment. We're also including some e-learning now as well. You'll start to see as we talk a little bit more. These programs are developed by SMEs in Nokia, like Marco and his team, and are delivered also by SMEs. And I think one of the best things is you're using best practices with proven use cases that are most applicable. And then we've got the 4 industry certifications that we'll talk about in the next little while. Flexible learning, so as I mentioned, instructor-led training. So we have 10 hands-on courses. So they're available. We do have an open public schedule that's available for open enrollment classes, so dates across multiple time zones. These are delivered virtually. Of course, we can still do in-person training across different Nokia facilities or on-site at customer sites. From a self-paced perspective, we're really working on evolving this program. Right now, we have our digital self-study materials, which probably a lot of you are familiar with. As I mentioned, we're also including some e-learning that we're starting to develop. And then we also have self-study certification bundles, which is really the best value when it comes to preparing for a certification if you want to go the self-study route. So that includes our self-study materials, which are digital materials, remote lab access, so you can complete the labs that come with the lab guides in the self-study materials, as well as all the exams, which for the most part, the certifications do include lab exams except at the professional level. And of course, for all our exams, we do have a free practice exam that you can leverage. And these are great to assess your current skills and also get an idea of the types of questions that will be asked. Remote lab access. So we do have a remote lab access solution called My Network Optical Lab. Here you can practice your skills, or as I said, complete the labs from the self-study materials. So they are certainly a great complement for the self-study materials. Obviously, theoretical understanding the technology and concepts is important, but like anything, getting that hands-on experience is really what will increase your skills. So for those of you that aren't familiar with the exam registration and certification management, what we do is we have a student portal which requires a Nokia account. So you have to create a Nokia account. Once you create a Nokia account, you'll be able to access your student portal. And from there, you can track all your certification requirements. So once you start for certification, it will show you all the corresponding requirements. It talks about recertification. You can schedule, reschedule, and cancel exams, and essentially plan your certification path and view results from your exams. We also have a store in there that allows you to purchase our self-study course materials and our certification bundles. Written exams, like many certifications, are administered by Pearson VUE. We still offer exams in person at testing centers worldwide, but I think predominantly since COVID, most people have switched over to doing the exams virtually online. And then finally, lab exams. So this comes up in our expert certifications and our architect certification. So this is really a practical hands-on exam that can also be done virtually online. And then typically they're about 3 to 4.5 hours. So they're quite extensive and includes all sorts of configurations and testing your hands-on skills with the technology. And then finally, validating your accomplishments. So this talks back to your individual achievements. So digital badges, digital badges gives you a great way to share your abilities online in a way that's simple, trusted, and can be easily verified in real time. So unlike in the past where you may have just had a paper certificate or a PDF or something, this actually has a verifiable way to show that your certification is valid and it is up to date using the Open Badge standard. We also do offer e-diplomas, so when you go in your student portal, you can download a diploma and print it out. For those of you that have passed at least 2 exams in the program, you can also receive a plaque, and then anytime you pass any subsequent exams, you can add a little tile to the plaque. So that's another opportunity for you to showcase your skills. Certification. So I'm going to hand it over to Marco now, and Marco's going to take us through the certifications, the courses that are related to them, and talk a little bit more about the training and the programs we have.
Thank you. Thank you, Darren. All right, so let's continue by getting clear on what our program is all about. This will help us dive into the certification tracks you can see on this slide. Our main goal is to offer a full package learning experience covering everything from optical gear, technologies to protocols. And it's not just about theory, but hands-on skills too, as anticipated by Darren. So when you get certified, it means that you are not just book smart, you can actually get things working. Currently, we have implemented the 1830 PSS family, which includes optical and cross-connect nodes. We have also got the 1830 VWM gear for the front hole use cases and the TPS in the mix, and also DCI-related elements, including the 1830 PSI family. Okay, so we are managing them all through our Wave Suite NOC system, and thus these 4 certification tracks are about these specific product types, product families. Okay, now let's talk about them. First, we have got the Optical Network Professional. Okay, it's the entry-level path giving you the basic knowledge on key optical topics. Now, this track serves as a solid foundation covering the essentials you need to know to proceed further with other certification tracks. And it's an important thing about this specific certification track is just the written exam is required. Okay, this is the only track where no lab exam is necessary to achieve the title. Okay, the next up is the services expert certification, the second one here in the slide. This one is designed to gear you up for the day-to-day use of your network. What's really interesting is that you can customize it to align with the specific technologies in your network. So it's flexible and lets you focus on practical, though, let's say, not overly advanced aspects. Okay. Moving right along, we have got a design expert track. As the name suggests, it delves into the optical network design. You will also get a handle on equipment and management system, but the core of this course, of this certification track actually, is using our tools to design a network, to craft a network. Just so we are on the same page, we have got 2 main tools for this. The Engineering and Planning Tool, or EPT, and the Wave Suite Planner, or WSP. Now, EPT's latest version has just been released, but there won't be further updates. WSP is taking over. That being said, we are still working on a course focused on EPT to be released on January, and some folks might find it a perfect fit, especially if their networks aren't scheduled for a major update anytime soon. Instead, the first WSP-based course is going to be developed in early 2024, based on the latest release, that is 23.12. Okay. Last on the right, we have got the Architect track. This one is also customizable like the Services Expert track. You will deep dive into more advanced topics here, which makes it the most challenging certification to achieve. It's comprehensive journey that covers all facets of optical networking, making it the ultimate path for those who really want to master this domain. Next slide, please, Darren. Now, currently, our program consists of a comprehensive range of 10 courses, okay? Strategically, actually 9 are distributed. 9 of them are strategically distributed across the 4 certification tracks I just outlined, okay? Each course is facilitated by subject matter experts, that is specialists readily available to address questions and doubts and guide students toward achieving their personal certification goals. Now let's take, let's say, a closer look to how these courses are distributed across our certification tracks, as reported here. You see, it's super simple to read. Let's take the second column as an example. So let's take the Optical Network Services Expert certification track as an example. You see, we have blue squares, and this means that these exams are mandatory. So basically, you must pass the Optical Networking Fundamentals written exam. Then you must pass the Optical Network Management with WS-NOC written exam. Then you must pass the Diagnostics and Troubleshooting written exam. You see 3 light blue squares on the second column. And then you must select 1 elective exam out of 3 over there. You see, you can select GMPLS or IPT, that is layer 2 over optical, or the mobile services. Again, 1 out of 3. You can customize, again, this certification track. So globally, you must pass 4 different written exams. You see, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 elective exam. Then, once you're done with these 4 written exams, then you can subscribe to the lab exam. Again, as I said before, hands-on skills are super important for us. This is a key differentiator between the certification program and other typical courses you might be used to, right? So once you pass the related lab exam, which again is going to be customized depending on your selection on the elective exams, then you get the title of Optical Network Services Expert. Now, similarly, you can read also the other columns, so it's super simple, right? Next slide, Darren, please. Now, before we delve into the details, here there is just a recap of the courses at your disposal. The 9 courses I was mentioning before, plus another 2 on the bottom. The other 2 about automation. These 2 courses are not yet part of any certification track, but still they are available for you. Okay. Another distinction I want to make is that most of these courses are based on an ILT approach, meaning instructor-led training approach. It's a real class delivered by instructors, either live, face-to-face, or virtual, okay? Or it could be e-learning. E-learning means we have created a specific version of those courses that is manageable via a typical internet browser, okay? This is e-learning. Plus, as Darren said before, there is a self-paced version of them all, meaning you can download the PDF version of these courses. Of course, different prices apply to different options, delivery options, right? But just for your, for your convenience here, into this slide, you can see the 11 courses available as of today with their codes and duration and the format and the certification they are applying, they are related with. Okay, next slide, please, Darren. So
hey,
now that we are...
Marco, I just wanted to add that the Optical Networking Fundamentals e-learning will be released probably late, sometime in December. So that's really, the starting point for the program. So we've got the instructor-led, the e-learning, and there's also self-study. So there's a lot of options to get started in the program there.
Yeah, good point, Darren. Yes, this table is reflecting the current, let's say, availability, but as Darren said, we are going to have an additional line over there about ONF, Optical Networking Fundamentals, one specific for the e-learning. Thank you, Darren. So now we can start explaining a little bit of each and every course we have in the portfolio. It's 10. I'm going to be fast anyways. Don't want to spend too much time, but at least you know a little bit more of these courses. So I will start with the first one, again, the gateway of our Optical Network Certification Program. This really serves as the foundation for the entire curriculum offering a comprehensive overview of topics covered in the subsequent 9 courses, even though at a high level. Okay, it has been designed to provide students with a, again, high-level view, allowing them to form a global understanding and to identify what aligns best with their individual learning path. So this introductory course covers fundamental concepts, including the physics underpinning optical transmission in fiber, architectural elements within the network, and core principles of network design and proficiency with the Nokia management system. A significant emphasis is placed on differentiating between traffic protection and traffic restoration, two critical but often confused aspects. And in the final module, students have the opportunity to integrate these key concepts, enabling them to put together a network from its initial stages with a basic network design. So in summary, again, this course equips you with the essential tools to comprehend and engage with optical networks, making it invaluable for engineers who may not have extensive experience in all phases of network setup. Perhaps so far you have primarily focused on a specific facet, such as network design, for instance, right? And now gaining insights into other deployment phases can prove both beneficial and engaging, especially it will expand your overall awareness and skill set. Next slide, please. Now, moving on, let's delve into the WSNOC, Wave Suite NOC, or for those familiar with the previous iteration of it, release of it, NFMT. So while there are similarities for sure, this course offers a fresh perspective based on the latest version of our management system. Now, despite it starts from the beginnings, it's important to note that this is not a basic course. It spans an intensive 5 days. This means there are no prerequisites. I mean, we start right from the foundational aspects of the Nokia management system, but still, after 5 intense days, throughout this course, we cover a range of crucial topics. So we kick things off with an introduction to the Wave Suite ecosystem with a specific focus of WSNOC, of course. And from there, we guide participants through network optical models and their interpretation. And one unique aspect of this course is its approach to network construction. So we begin with a previously created optical network design, allowing for a hands-on experience starting from it. And then it's important to highlight that while we don't delve into network design per se, in this course we leverage design projects maybe created in advance, possibly from other courses in the program, which I'll be introducing shortly. And then the module on services implementation is particularly comprehensive. Not only we cover managed plane services, but we also explore photonic GMPLS layer 0 and electrical layer 1 services. Here, the focus lies on protection mechanisms, delving into a bunch of acronyms, again, such as OOCHP, OPSA, Y-cable, OLP, ESNCP. We basically explain every possible protection mechanism, method, okay, be it optical or electrical. And finally, the last module addresses server management, touching on functional agents and components and performance monitoring management and user profile management and backup and restore procedures and more, and more. Next slide, please, Darren. Now, let's dive into the GMPLS course now. This is a specialized focus on GMPLS-enabled networks. So while we cover the management aspects through WSNOC, it's important to note that network construction, for instance, is not covered here. This is demanded to other WSNOC courses like the one I just described 1 minute ago. Here, instead, we begin with a network already created, okay? We delve into the GMPLS protocol itself. So we discuss its theoretical foundations, its needs, its drivers. And next, we explore the suite of protocols encapsulated within GMPLS, okay? And to demonstrate this, we go hands-on, capturing traffic and demonstrating the flow of protocols framed between adjacent nodes. So we start by establishing a theoretical framework for what should occur between neighbors, again, adjacent nodes, and then through practical exercises, we capture and analyze frames to showcase the actual implementation. Okay. Again, through targeted labs, we illustrate the outcomes in the event of multiple fiber faults. And this is what GMPLS is about, right? Being resilient. So we highlight the robustness of restoration techniques, emphasizing how services with different priorities behave under various conditions. So in the event of a fiber cut, we demonstrate that only the privileged traffic maintains its continuity while best effort transmissions are dropped. Okay, super interesting, super practical. It spans both theory, hands-on application. I really like this one. Next slide, Darren, please. IPT, the next one is about IPT. Don't confuse it with EPT. This is integrated packet transport, okay? This is a specialized layer 2 course tailored specifically for the 1830 platform and ESM, the Ethernet Service Manager within WSNOC. So ESM is a component included into WSNOC for managing layer 2 networks. Now, the steps necessary to prepare an optical network for layer 2 services are covered again in other WSNOC related courses. And here, instead, we start again with an already created network. We focus on layer 2 things specifically, okay? Now, specifically here, so what do we cover here? The initial modules address the specific needs and rationale for opting for layer 2 over traditional routers. I mean, these represents the two primary alternatives, right? Simple routers or, again, layer 2 cards within optical networks integrated into a shelf. Okay. Now, the initial modules address the specific needs, again, for the solution proposed by Nokia. And this encompasses also critical topics like Ethernet bridging and VLANs and NPLS-TP and more. And one area we do not overlook is the operation, administration, and maintenance, often referred as to O&M. Okay. And these play a clear role in maintaining a robust and reliable network. And next, we delve into the ERP, Ethernet ring protection, and we also explore the link aggregation groups, both of which are crucial aspects of layer 2 networking. Finally, we round off with a deep dive into the quality of service management. Okay, next slide, please, Darren. And this one is about mobile services. Okay, this is the final course that completes the services expert certification I was mentioning before. You remember we have 4 different tracks. With this course, we are completing the courses belonging to the first 2 tracks. Okay, this one is about mobile services, as I said before. This course stands out as the only course module training dedicated to mobile technologies within the ONC program, focusing specifically on mobile transport over optical solutions. Now, we start by depicting the landscape of current cellular networks. We delve into the reasons driving for the transition from LTE, okay, while also outlining the primary drivers and constraints influencing this shift. Now, understanding the evolution of mobile networks serves as a critical milestone to support the introduction of the next generation 5G or even 6G, since we are now working at an update of this course, and then we are talking about 6G, right? Moving forward, we discuss the radio access network, exploring various architectural possibilities, alternatives, options. We clearly show the Nokia's specific implementation, and then the course progresses to a crucial aspects, front hauling based on Ethernet, commonly referred as a packetized front haul. And these concepts include the introduction of our cutting-edge TPS equipment. And lastly, we tackle the complex subject of synchronization, transport for 5G access and transport networks. This is an area of paramount importance and represents one of the key challenges in transitioning to the 5th generation of mobile networks and services. Okay, so in summary, we comprehensively cover front haul, mid haul, back haul, and the broader concept of optical any haul. Next slide, please, Darren. Now, so we just completed the courses, the certification paths on the left, okay? The course is related with the first two certification paths on the left here, the first 5 courses, basically. I was presenting 5 courses, and then now I will start with the right side, that is the remaining 4 courses, plus the automation then, and these 4 courses are belonging to the design expert and the architect certification tracks. Of course, some of the courses are shared by these tracks, okay? Next slide, Darren, please. So let me talk about the FOND, Fundamentals of Optical Network Design course. Here we delve into the, the basics of optical network design. So while no specific prerequisites are required, a familiarity with concepts related to WDM transmission, as covered in the initial course, Optical Networking Fundamentals, this is recommended, right? Now, despite its fundamental label, here you can see in the slide, after 4 intense days of training and practice, it goes into a more advanced level. Following an overall introduction, the students engage in hands-on exercises using pen and paper initially. Okay, initially it's about pen and paper, and they learn to select the most suitable functional blocks to optimize specific designs based on given requirements. Okay, so we have the labs are covering also calculation pertaining to survivability, availability, power budgeting, okay, this kind of stuff. And then the course, moves to the curriculum transitions to the engineering and planning tool, the EPT. So students gain a thorough understanding of its theory, main menus, main functionalities, followed by practical labs. Looking ahead, an updated version of this course is slated for development starting in early 2024, leveraging the WaveSuite Planner platform I was mentioning before, WSP, okay? That is going to replace EPT. Next slide, please, Darren. This one introduces the sequel to our previous topic again. So it's again about network design, but it is advanced. It's a comprehensive 5-day delivery. So while not officially mandatory, familiarity with the preceding design course, which I discussed 1 minute ago, is highly recommended. Okay, in this advanced course, we shift our focus towards the challenges of transmission quality, including OSNR assessments and determining optical reach. And additionally, we explore advanced functionalities like, signal regeneration, protection, restoration, all of this with hands-on labs. Again, not just theory, with hands-on labs. We delve into these concepts, presenting various available alternatives for safeguarding traffic, and this forms a central aspect of the course with numerous real-world scenarios, both at the theoretical level and through simulations using the EPT tool. And finally, students are tasked with designing an advanced, large-sized optical network. Next slide, please, Darren. This one, it's another advanced course. It's an integral part of the architect certification path. It delves into key aspects such as the overarching management system, encompassing its architecture and principal components, advanced nodal configuration, advanced network configuration, and also complex services setups. So while the course structure may remind you the introductory WS NOC course, this one explores advanced topics in a greater depth. Okay, so following an introduction to the management system, we progress to advanced nodal configurations, providing comprehensive insights into various different nodal architectures, including flex grid, switch WDM configurations, cluster, embedded setups. And next, we delve into advanced network configurations based on CDCF, GMPLS layer 0 and 1, overlay, MRN, okay, mixed plane, cascading configuration. I'm not sure whether you're familiar with this, guys, but it's about very specific and advanced things. right? This course also covers advanced service configurations, where we are, again, an array of diverse services are created on top of the previously explored structures, audio flags, alien signals, channelization, light path. All of this is thoroughly explained. And the final two modules focus on network maintenance and transformation, including management system, agents, and processes. Okay, next slide, please, Darren. This course, DTS, is a comprehensive compilation set of troubleshooting techniques essential to for practical application. It covers fundamental troubleshooting tools such as alarm, conditions, logs, PNs, wavelength tracker, okay? And towards the conclusion of this course, attention is directed towards troubleshooting tools specific to transponders, addressing aspects related to FEC, forward error connection, and the OTN frame. And the final day of this course is entirely dedicated to hands-on labs, providing students with a diverse range of simulated issues to address. And these challenges are mixed to present a variety of problems with the ultimate goal of achieving an alarm-free configuration. Okay, it's very much hands-on oriented. It mirrors real-world scenarios that students may encounter on a day-to-day basis. Next one slide. Next one, Darren, please. Let me introduce the last one, the last final course for today. This program, this course, this training equips students with the expertise to effectively automate optical networks. It includes the fundamental elements that are necessary to facilitate key automation scenarios, with a special focus on the central role played by the Nokia WaveSuite ecosystem. Now, participants will gain proficiency in implementing and leveraging these scenarios, utilizing standardized enablers such as established interfaces and protocols and data representation models. The course places particular emphasis on critical components, including, again, the WSNOC, resource controller, service enablement, health and analytics, but we are planning to include also WSP, the optimizer, the advanced diagnostics. Through hands-on labs, the students will engage with various workflows, gaining practical experience in executing a diverse range of use cases. And this includes the automation of trails and system provisioning, services provisioning, establishing KPI thresholds, initiating automated responses based on these thresholds. You see, lots of interesting things that will help participants to develop the ability to analyze metrics, enabling them to determine future trends in network performances and to automate many, let's say, repetitive tasks in the network. Darren, could you please move to the next slide? I'm really done. I just have a slide about automation in general, to explain you why automation is important today. Now, automation has become the focal point of contemporary discussions, right? We can hear about automation pretty much everywhere, anytime. The desire to automate processes spans various industries. It started in manufacturing, to be honest, not even in telecommunications. And then it extended to utilities, transportation, and now, of course, also optical networks. So it's not just about specific industries, but also functions within them. So even within the same industry, distinct functions can be automated. Now, in the realm of optical networks, the telecom sector is adopting several automation methodologies. Network operators, web-scale companies, enterprises are embarking on transformative journeys by integrating automation into their network. But the question is, why? Why should these entities automate their networks? Why? Well, the answer is that modern networks are prone to delays due to their, let's say, inherent complexity and reliance on manual operations. Okay, and this manual approach can lead to errors and downtimes, and then tasks like I don't know, service provisioning, network modifications, software updates, KPI monitoring, and performance assessments are predominantly executed manually. And consequently, many network management processes are not performed consistently. And this is increasing the risks of network failures and downtime. And additionally, issues arising from network changes often come to the table when it is too late, right? When they are reported by network monitoring tools, leaving a little room for prediction and necessitating manual troubleshooting. Now, this prevailing approach is more, let's say, reactive than proactive. And through automation, we have a solution to these challenges, right? We have put together 8 use cases that hold significant value for a wide range of our customers. And our course about automation is designed with a clear purpose: to depict the benefits of automation for our customers and to provide practical insights into its implementation. Again, we want to be proactive more than reactive. I think I'm done. Next slide, Darren, but I will hand over the floor to you. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Marco. Just a couple questions here. I think I've answered most of them in the chat. If not, please ask them again. But we did have a question about, I know you mentioned that we're updating our design course to EPT in January, but there was a question of wondering when the Wave Suite Planner might be introduced to the program.
Oh, yeah. We are updating the EPT course now. And it's going to be, we are piloting it next week, to be honest. So when I say January, I just mean that it's going to be available for customers by January.
Oh, and that's the Wave Suite Planner version?
No, this is the EPT, because
okay.
EPT, the latest version of EPT has been released on June, right? Actually on July. So, and then there was summer break, of course, and then we started with the development of a new course, the last one about EPT, and now we are releasing it. So that's why I'm saying, if someone is interested in the latest version of EPT, okay, you can have it by January. Okay. About WSP, Wave Suite Planner, we are going to work on the version released on December, so not yet released, 23.12. So on January, we're going to start working at this, okay? And then we are going to release it early, I don't know, Q2, I guess, something like that. So our network design courses are going to be, let's say, upgraded to WSP starting from then, let's say at the end of the first half of 2024. This is the plan.
Okay, great. Thanks, Marco.
Consider one thing, that we expect customers to move towards WSP, but still we're going to keep in our portfolio our last course about EPT. And why? Because, this transition is going to take time. Okay, months or even years for some customers. That's why we want to cover the very latest version of EPT in one of our courses. And then with the other courses we have, we will cover WSP for those who moved already from EPT to WSP.
Okay, great. Thanks, Marco. There's a good question here that I should have mentioned during the presentation itself, and that is, how long does the certification remain active? Certifications are valid for 3 years, and then you have to do one recertification exam. So you can either do an exam, redo one of the written exams that you've already done, which in 3 years will have been updated, or you can do an exam from a more advanced certification. So when you look at the certifications on our website, you'll see a section called recertification. So you can learn more there, but that's a great question that I should have covered. There's also another question about optical lab exams, and is there any demonstration on what someone might expect? We do have a what to expect section on the website when you go to the website and look up the lab exam. So that will talk a little bit about what you can expect. But Marco, maybe you can talk a little bit about the lab exam?
Yeah, well, no, there is no such a kind of, demonstration video to show you what happens during a lab exam, but it's very, very, very similar to what you already have in your lab guide. I mean, whenever you subscribe to a course delivery, or whenever you opt for a self-paced delivery, in any case, you're getting a lab guide. Okay. Now, the lab guide is reporting every single lab of the course, of course, with every single step and screenshot and output, everything, literally everything is over there. Now, lab exam is based on that. You are not required. You are not going to be requested to do all the labs, of course, because it doesn't last days. A lab exam lasts hours, right? So a kind of random selection. It's not really random, and it's not exactly a selection. There is some little tweak to make things a little bit more spicy that day, but a kind of selection of what you already have in your lab guide is also asked in the lab exam. So basically, you need to get ready to do all the labs that you have in the lab guide. You need to understand them all so that at lab exam time, you won't be, let's say, surprised but what you're going to be requested to do. But it's something very similar. It's very much aligned with the lab guide. So if you learn, I don't know, in a course, you're learning how to create a service, I don't know, in 5 or 6 different ways, okay? Now, during the lab exam, you can expect that one of these 6 ways of creating a service is going to be asked to you to be done, right? And then the proctor is going to grade your lab exam. This is how it works. So no, there is no demonstration, but there is not so much left to the imagination, to the creativity. I mean, it's pretty much what you have in the lab guide. It's a kind of random selection from there.